Hi everyone, Danielle here. I'm doing a solo playthrough of Petrichor. I am doing the Southern Wind solo mode. So this is pretty much set up and ready to go, but we do have to put some clouds on these fields. So we have 6 fields that are placed out in this formation. For the solo player or the neutral players is how they're referred to in the rulebook. Field 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is how they're going to be referred to. And we are going to place out 2 neutral clouds with one neutral raindrop in them. So we're going to put it in 5. That's going to be here. And then, so they're going to be red. And then 6, I'm going to put one over here. And then we get to decide where we want to put ours. And so our neutral one will go, I think it'll go here. See what happens. All right, and then we draw 8 cards to our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. And then they will have their own deck of cards. So they will be going through these, and they will always take the first turn in the round. And then we get to roll these 3 harvest dice. Oh gosh, that's not great. The fact that these two have the harvest icon already on it is not ideal, but that's okay. Um, we will figure that out. We are starting on round 1. There's a total of 4 rounds. This is the victory track for I think, what do they call it? There's a specific term for the 2 tracks here. I want to make sure I get it right. So the voting point or voting wins track is here, and then the victory points is outside. All right, so that's what that is. All right, so let's get started. Like I said, they will go first and they will draw a card. So this is card number 3. Each of these are numbered and they have explanations on the rule book. So this one says remove one of your drops from the selected tile and return it to your supply. So this is not going to apply right now since we just started the game, but if there were any of my drops on these tiles or the fields themselves, not in a cloud, because these are clouds, then I would have to remove it. So otherwise, if I can't end up doing any part of that action, we will give them a point. And then this bottom part is where they vote. We each get 12 voting markers and they will vote on the frost. Okay, so now it's our turn. And we have a good variety of actions here. So let me put the ones that are the same together. That's helpful in this game. All right, so we have the sun, we have wind, and we have frost. So frost is pretty good. So all of the actions are pretty much summed up on the back of this reference card called card actions. So if I did the frost, I could create a light cloud, placing one of my drops in it and placing it on a field without a cloud, which is kind of what I did in the beginning of the game during the setup. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to spend or discard this card to do that action. So get one of mine and I can place it in any of these 3 fields. And I'll place it here. So that was my first action. I optionally could do a second action, and if I did, the 2 cards I play have to be the same, and then I'll do that action. Um, Otherwise, I could also say I wanted to do another frost, but as you can see, I don't have another frost. I could actually put a total of 2 cards of any card and make that into a frost, and so essentially spending 3 cards, which may not be ideal. So in this case, I think I will do an action, but it will be the wind action. So the wind action is move a cloud you are present in to an adjacent space. So you know what? I don't think I need the wind action just yet. I'm gonna hold on to that. I changed my mind. But anyway, I forgot I have to vote. So on the original card that I discarded to play that action of frost, I could vote in this weather, or the harvest die. So I'm actually going to vote on the frost because the idea of voting is that you want majority to get the voting points. All right, so we'll go into the neutral player's turn. So for this card, add a neutral drop to the cloud on the selected tile, then check for cloud growth overflow. If there is no cloud on the tile, it's not a valid target. So to determine the target of this card, we will roll this d6 that came with the game. It's a 1. So unfortunately, there's no cloud here, so we have to just continue going in the numerical order. So it's going to impact this one. So they're going to place a neutral drop on that cloud. Okay. And then they will vote on two suns. So they're going to place two of their markers on the sun. Now it's back to us. And the sun is pretty good. So I think I'm going to do that action. I will spend my or discard my sun card and add two of my drops into a cloud I'm present in. So I'm going to put it in here. And then I get to vote in the sun or the wind and or harvest. So I could do that if I wanted to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in the sun. I could optionally play a second action. I might do I have a lot of wind, but the sun is also pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I will use two winds and the sun to play a sun action. And again, the sun action is add two of your drops into a cloud you're present in. I'm going to put it right here. And then I get to vote. And I will vote in the sun. Sorry, I have to grab a blue one because that's my color. All right. So now it's their turn. And this is going to be placing a drop on a tile. So they take a neutral drop from the supply and put it directly onto the selected tile. Again, we'll have to roll the die. And it's a 2. So they're going to place it directly onto the field tile. So not on the cloud, but in the field tile. And then they're voting on the rain. And then the harvest die, they are going to decrease one of the dice that's not already a harvest by 1. So this 4 is now going to be a 3. So we have 3 cards left in our hand. We could pass with up to 4 cards in our hand and end our turns for this round. But I think I will continue here and I will do another frost action. And I'll place one of my drops into a light cloud and put it on here. And then I will vote, and my vote will go on the sun. So I could have voted on the frost or the next one in clockwise order, or I could have decreased the harvest die, but I decided not to. And in this case, I think I will actually, with 4 drops in here, this should become a thundercloud, just to note that. So let me just put that thunderbolt on there. Forgot to check for that. Um, a little hard there. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to use the wind. I have to use 2 cards to do that. And I'm going to actually move this down into here. And so that merges and also makes this into a thundercloud. Okay. And that's my action. And then I will vote. I will vote either on the wind or on the rain or move the harvest. I will vote on the rain. All right. So they are going to look for a cloud that has a neutral and one of mine and move it northwest. But in this case, nothing will be a target because this is going to be up here and we're not going to be able to move anywhere. So, oh, actually, if the cloud is already in P2, which is this section, P2 is like this tile, it can only move west. So it'll move this way. All right, that's fine. And then it's going to vote 2 on wind. And as for me, I don't have any cards. I will not be able to do anything on my turn. I have to pass for the round. All other players will get another turn, which means neutral player will get another turn. All right. So for this card, they have to move a pure card southeast. So move a cloud with only neutral raindrops from the selected tile directly to the southeast of it. So let's see which tile we go for. Number 4. So that's this one. So nothing here, so it's going to go to the next one. And this is a pure neutral one, which means it's going to go southeast. If it can't go south, it's going to go east. So it's going to merge into this one. And it's going to vote for wind. Okay. So now we go into the weather phase. Because we all passed, the weather phase is now in effect, and we get to go look at the top two voted on weather. So right now we have the sun and it's going to be the wind. So for the sun, the effect for a solo game is not any different. And the thing about this game is I always have to have the rule book because I wish there was reference cards for solo mode, but there isn't. Um, but basically, when you're doing a solo game, the sun says the neutral player first doubles its presence in all clouds. So it's going to add and double their presence in all clouds. And then I get to double my drops in one of them. So I'm going to double my drops in this one. So I'm going to add 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now that there are 8 drops in this thunder cloud, it gets overflowed and then it gets placed onto this field and we remove the cloud. So at this point, if the raindrop level is met, which it definitely is, there are 2, it gets this token with that icon. So this tells me that during the harvest phase, this field will harvest. Okay, so that was the sun. And then because I had the majority votes on this, I gain a point on this voting track. And then we return all of the tokens back just for that weather. All right, and then the next one that we'll do is the wind. So the wind says, after resolving your wind weather effect, which is moving 1 drop to an adjacent tile, um, if at least one of your drops on each check tile. Okay, so for the wind effect, it's the typical one that everyone typically would do in a multiplayer game. It says, in reverse turn order, move any 1 drop from a field to an adjacent field. So I believe that is not one that's in a cloud, but on a field itself. So I'm going to move this here. And then what they're going to do as a neutral player is check each of the tiles P3 to P6. On each checked tile, if there is at least one of your drops in it, which is mine, move one of your drops from the tile to the adjacent tile to the north. So I don't have any drops here, so nothing happens. And then they will get the point for that. And then we return these. All right. And then after that, we have the harvest phase. Nothing really happens there because we did not trigger the harvest at this time. All of these dice don't have the harvest icon, so nothing will happen with it. So we're skipping the harvest phase, and then we're going straight into the cleanup phase. So as far as the cleanup phase, we have moving the round marker by 1. So now we're on round 2. Because it wasn't a harvest phase, we re-roll a die that does not already have the harvest icon, and it's a 2. And then we draw back up to our hand size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then the neutral player will take their turn. All right. So this one is a reshuffle. And then we have to draw another card. So let's shuffle it up. Okay. All right. So this card is basically removing one of my drops from a tile. So it could be either one of these. So let's roll to see which one. Is a 3. So it's going to go here and wrap around. So it's removing one of these. Okay. So they will vote on Frost. And then it's our turn. Okay. So the rain is interesting. I have a lot of rain in my hand. I think I'm going to do it. So rain, the action says, rain any 1 drop from up to 2 clouds you are present in. So right now I only have 1 cloud. So maybe I could do a frost actually. So maybe I'll do frost first. So I'll do that as my action. Create a light cloud with one of my drops in it. And I'll put it right here. And then next, I need to vote. So I will vote on the frost. And then I will play as a second optional action 2 of these rain cards so I could do the rain action and rain 1 drop from up to 2 clouds. So I will rain this one, which means we have a growth token on there. We have 3, which meets that 3. And then we will also drop 1 onto here. Okay, that doesn't trigger anything though. This does have 4. This should have a thunderbolt on it to make it a thundercloud. Okay. And then I will vote. So I could vote for a frost, and I think I will. All right, so they'll take their turn. It's another reshuffle, just like that. Now that's kind of the one kind of annoying piece is moving, reshuffling randomly, but that's okay. Because you don't shuffle when you run out of cards to draw, you just reshuffle when you see the card. And lucky me, I drew it again. Let's shuffle that again. All right, so there we go. We have this card that says take a neutral drop from the supply and put it directly onto the selected tiles. Let's see where it goes. A 3. So it's going to go here. And then they're going to vote on a rain. And then they're also going to lower a harvest die. So this 2 becomes a 1. All right. So strategically, I do want to have enough uh to harvest this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do another rain. And that rain says, rain any 1 drop from up to 2 clouds you're present in. So I'm just going to do this one. And now that that is met, we get a growth token. And we get to vote. So I will place my vote onto the rain. Yeah. And then I'm tempted to do another rain. So I'm going to just use 2 other cards to do that with the rain. And do that again. Place it here. And then I'll vote again onto the rain. Okay. That's all I've got. Let's see what they do. All right. It looks like it's going to be an interesting one. So they're going to be creating a new cloud with 2 drops. And let's see where it goes. Where's the die? Okay. A 6. So it can't go here because it's already a cloud. Um, so I guess it would just go around, right? Because it says if the tile already has a cloud, it's not valid. So it'll just go all the way to the top here. All right. So that field is getting a little crowded. And then they're going to vote 2 on frost. So right now, they currently will have the majority there, which is not great. So I'm going to take my turn and I'm going to do a frost action, which is putting one of mine onto a tile without a cloud. So I'll put that there and then I will vote on the frost. So we're even. And when you're tied during the weather phase, you don't move up on the track. All right. I don't have anything else to do, so they'll take their turn. And that's placing 2 drops on the tile. So taking 2 neutral drops from the supply, putting it onto the tile. And that's a 6. Putting a 2 here. And that means it will have growth because it matches, it equals or exceeds that number, which is a 2. All right. And then they will vote 2 on the rain. Not great because that means they have the majority there and I can't do anything about it. So I'm passing. And then so everybody gets an extra turn. And that's a reshuffle, of course. All right, see what they get. Okay, so they place a neutral drop to a cloud. 1. So they're going to place it right here, a neutral one, which is red. And then they're voting 2 on the sun. All right, and now we do the weather. So we're going to start with the frost first. And all light clouds become thunder clouds. So these two are now thunderclouds. And actually, I had to find out what the significance of it becoming a thundercloud is in the first place. Maybe I'm missing something because like, why does it matter that it's a thundercloud now? But anyway, so that's what happens with the frost. And then one, two, three, four. Yep. So we're tied for the frost, so nothing happens. And then the next one is the rain. So for the rain, all thunderclouds automatically pour out their. Oh, that's why. Duh. Okay. So pour all those out. We'll empty it, which means all of these are going to go onto the field and rain. So that's the significance. Okay. So that's what we do with the rain, and they will go up the track of that because they have the majority. All right. So we go through the cleanup, move that up, we'll re-roll this die, no harvest phase, rule of four, and then we draw a hand. I think that's what we do. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay. So they'll take their turn. It's another shuffle, guys. I can't with this. At this point, I should just remove the card because it's showing up so much. Okay. All right. So that one is remove one player drop from a tile. So let's see. Tile number six. So there's none here. So that means it will just remove it from this one. And they're voting on a frost. All right. Let's see what's in our hand. We have frost, wind, sun, rain. Ooh. So there's no clouds out right now. So the wind, um, the sun, and the rain won't do much. So the frost would be helpful. We'll probably do both of those. So we're going to do the frost. I'm going to put it here, and then I'll do a vote on the frost. And then I'll play it again, playing two of my frost cards. Um, putting this, I think I'll put it here. Because this is scary that they have so many of theirs on here. And then I'm going to vote. So I'll vote again on the frost. Okay. So they're going to place a drop from the supply and put it directly on the tile. So one. Not great either up here. And they're voting on the rain. And the harvest die decreases to 3. Okay. So now the wind. Uh, hmm. I could do the wind, or I could do sun. I'll do the sun and add 2 of my drops into a cloud that I'm present in. And then I'll do the wind. Actually, let's vote. I can't forget to vote. That's important. So I could put it in the sun. Now I'll use another action for the wind and move this over and merge it. And now that's a thundercloud. And then because of that, I get to vote on, let's see, I could do the wind, rain, or harvest. And I think I will, I think I'll harvest and break this down to 2. And I'll get a point. Ooh, you know what? We've been forgetting that. They definitely have harvested. They should definitely have points. Oh boy. How many times have they harvested, you think? Maybe at least 3 times, I'd say. One, two, three. Let's give them that. And then I don't know if I've harvested. Have I? I think I did maybe once. I can't recall. Oops. All right. Well, that's that. And then they will take their turn. Okay. So they're adding 2 drops to a new cloud. Let's see where it goes. 3. And then They're voting on 2 frost. Man, they're so competitive with that frost. All right, so all I've got are rain. I only have 1, 2 cards left, so I'll just do 1 rain action. So that's rain anyone drop from up to 2 clouds you're present in. So I'll do it here. And you know what? I don't think that's a good idea. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spend both of these for a wind, and I'll move this over here. Yep, that's what I'll do for the wind. And then I'll be able to vote on, I think I'll just decrease and get a point. That's what I'll do. Okay, so they'll go. That's a reshuffle, go figure. Oops, I left one there. Okay. All right, so they're adding 2 neutral drops. 1, 2 onto a tile. Whoops. This goes here. So tile 1. They definitely don't need any more there, but that's okay. Um, and then I have to pass. Well, actually, they vote. So they vote for 2 rain. And then they'll go again. And they are adding 2 neutral onto a space without a cloud already. 2. There we go. And then they're voting 2 on the frost. That is not going well at all, guys. Um, okay, so now we do the weather. So we're obviously doing frost, which is all light clouds become thunderclouds. Okay, and then they're gonna get that point. Need to get back to our supply. And then I get to decide between these two which one goes. And I'm gonna say, um, yeah, I'll say the sun. Okay, so that effect will go into that. They get that point, which is crazy. They have 14 points because of that. And that says they double all of theirs. So this is 4, and they actually don't have any left. So anytime they have to place a drop, um, and they can't, I think they do get a point. So something I thought I read was that that would happen. And raises if there's a tie. Yeah, I do think they get a point. So the neutral player has no water drops left in this pool in the beginning of the harvest phase. So definitely the harvest will go off now. Um, but I'm trying to see if they do get a point if they don't have any left when they need to place it. Hmm. Yeah, so it says here if there are no valid targets, do nothing on the field and advance the neutral player by 1 on the victory point. But I feel like that's only during their action versus the weather. So I'll have to confirm how people are playing that. Yeah. Okay. So they can't double anything, but I will. So I'll place 4 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that means they all drop. And that will be a growth as well. And so that is the sun. Um, so the sun, yeah. Okay. So now we do the harvest phase for the first time in this game. And the harvest phase means we look for that section. All grown crops are harvested. Players score victory points based on who has more water drops on the tile being harvested. Score all tiles with a growing token in any order. Once scored, remove the growing token from the tile and return all water drops to its owner's pool. All right, so this is going to score. So they will get 4 points and I'll get 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And that's easy to score, and all of those are returned. And this is also scored. I have the majority, so I get 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And they don't have the majority. They have the second most, so they actually get 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is not great. And then that gets over here. All right. Okay. And then here also gets scored. As the first player, I get 2 points. 1, 2, and one of these harvest icons. And then they get 3 points. 2, 3. This one is all me. I get 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this one is all them. They get 5 points. So they're definitely ahead of me by so many points. It's crazy. All right. So that was the harvest phase. Now we go into the cleanup phase. So because there was a harvest round, we reroll all the harvest dice. Um, all right, we have 2 harvests and a number 2. And we move to the 4th round. We draw cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. A reshuffle. I think that is the most drawn card in this video. Okay. So they're adding a new cloud somewhere. 1. And then they're voting on 2 frost. Oh, that is me. Let's get theirs. 1, 2. Now let's see our hand. We have 2 sun. Ooh, 3 suns. We definitely need to start placing some clouds out with us. So we'll use a frost. And I'm going to put it here. And then I will vote on frost. And then secondly, I am going to use the sun action and place 2 more. My gosh, I am like moving everything inadvertently. Um, and then I'll vote on the wind. Let's see, another shuffle. Okay. All right, so I have to remove. Oh, there's actually gonna be nothing to remove, so they're gonna get a point. Nothing to remove off a field. Okay, and then they're voting on a frost. I don't know how people are winning against this. Maybe my strategy is totally off, but I'm like never close. Then it's my turn. I'm gonna do another sun where I add 2 of my drops. And now this is a thundercloud. And next. I'll do the rain action with these. Oh, this is my last turn. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Yeah, no, I'm gonna pass. All right, so they're gonna place a neutral drop onto a field. 4. And then they're voting on the rain and the harvest. It's down to 1. I will do rain. So I'll put this down here. And then I'll pass. They'll go. Actually, I gotta vote. Let's vote on the frost. They're gonna add 2 neutral to a cloud. 1. So they're just gonna end up going all the way here, building 2 on frost. 1, 2. I am getting so slammed. That's crazy. And then it'll be my turn. I'm gonna spend 2 of these for rain. There'll be a growth. Um, and then that's it for me. A shuffle. All right. So they will place a neutral onto a cloud. So they're gonna place it on 3. 1, 2, 3. And then they're gonna vote on the sun and then do a harvest. So now we are definitely gonna do a harvest. And then my turn is a frost. I'll just put that, play that. Right here, that's the only one I can put it on. And I will vote on, yes, not that it matters at this point. And they will take a turn. And basically, no targets. They're just going to get a point because we don't have any neutral and mine mixed together. I'm going to pass. They're going to take another turn. Okay. So that will be their last turn. They get to place a neutral onto a cloud. A 3. So they're going to place it 1, 2, 3. Oh, here. That's already a thundercloud, and they're voting 2 on the sun. Okay. So weather effects will be frost for sure. They're going to get that point. And so frost is everything becomes a thundercloud. So let's do that. Down top. And we need one more thundercloud. Okay. And then everything is returned. Not that it matters because we're at the end of the game. Um, and then the next one that has the most is the rain. So they also get that. And all of these just pour out. And that means most of these will probably harvest. Okay. So this will have growth for sure. This one will as well. This one won't, this one won't, this one won't. Okay. All right, so now we go into the harvest phase. So let's do this. They'll get 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, they will get 2 points. And then one of these tokens. And then this, I'll get 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because it's the end of the round, um, during the cleanup phase, I don't think we need to do much else. So we just go into the game end. So each player gains points equal to the numbers depicted on their current location on the voting wins track. The player or players with the most wheat tokens also gain 12. So we're tied for that. Um, and then in case of a tie, each tying player scores 12. So in the solo mode, I have to just double check. After the fourth and final round, score for voting wins and wheat tokens as in the multiplayer game, including a final round harvest. We did the final round harvest already. Um, and yeah, at this point, I don't even think we need to add anything up. I totally lost, but this was fun. I always enjoy relearning this one. But it is a difficult game for me to win. I don't know why. I'm definitely playing wrong. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are. I think there are a bunch of expansions too for this game, but I only have the base game, and so it's just the Southern Winds is what I'm playing with. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. A like or a comment is also always appreciated. And if you're not a channel member, maybe consider it. Your support is always appreciated in terms of, if you join the channel, you do spend a little bit of money per month that can help fund buying board games back in Kickstarter so I could cover on my channel. And I also have videos that are members only at first. So you might get a sneak peek into some of the board games that I have upcoming on my channel that I'm covering. But also you get community posts where I kind of talk more about my life outside of board gaming and then get to know my channel members a little bit more as well. And I really like the little community that we have right now. But yeah, if you're interested, check out the description and you can hit the link. I think it's just called join. There's a button like that. So maybe give that a try. But otherwise, any type of support you have, liking, commenting, engaging with the video, sharing it out is just always appreciated. So thank you so much. All right. Bye.